So this week's discussion is all about being positive, how to get there, what to do. And in researching this, I found that positivity is a really vague and wide subject. There's so many different teachings and sayings about it. And I found that positivity is so closely related to happiness, and they're tightly intertwined and difficult to separate. So I started my preparation by looking up the definition of positive. And I found that in Webster's dictionary there are 20 definitions of the word positive. There's a lot of stuff. Versions 8a and 8b are the best. Having a good effect or favorable, for example, a positive role model. Definition 8b, marked by optimism, for example, a positive point of view. So we know that positive is synonymous with having a good effect and optimism, but this definition didn't completely satisfy it. And it wasn't really clear just from the dictionary how we can achieve this positive state. So I continued my search for the meaning of optimism and positivity, and I stumbled across a definition of happiness. And happiness is, one definition was having positive feelings and a positive state of mind. So if you're happy, you could be by definition a positive person. So now I felt I was getting somewhere. And in thinking about happiness, I was thinking, you have happy experiences, or you could be in a general happy state. Two different things. So a happy experience would be, my child just graduated from college with honors. That would make anybody happy. It's a specific event. There's a person involved, and it's something that you can react to, as opposed to the state is the general mindset, your propensity, how you respond to somebody. It influences how you react to events as they occur. Happy events are wonderful when they occur, but they're out of our control. So we just can't rely on the experiences. We want to figure out how to get ourselves into the state of happiness so we could always respond in that way. So how do you get into the state of unhappiness? We all have unpleasant experiences, difficulties. Sometimes life presents real challenges to us, and need to figure out how to thrive and get into a good space. So there are some really helpful ways to get you into that positive and happy state. So first, you can give up reliance or attachment on things and other people for your happiness. So when you are relying on a thing or another person, you could get comfort from that. Or if it's something that you're afraid of, you can have fear of being without that thing. But you want to be able to drop that reliance on a thing or being so heavily dependent on another person. Look to what you have right now and be grateful for it and enjoy it. If you obtain more of what you desire, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be happy. For example, so many people say, I want to win the lottery. It's going to be so great. It's going to solve all my problems. But you're always reading in the news that the lottery winners, they have more problems that come from it. Families sometimes fall apart. They lose touch with reality. And so many times in the end, they spend all the money that they thought would last them forever. And it's really not what was there to make them happy. So if you have more and more stuff, things, that could make life more complicated and not provide you what you really want. Number 2, do your best with what you have and in the place that you are right now. We're all in different states. Some people have more money. Some people have more friends. Some people have an awesome life partner. You don't compare yourself with other people, but just look at what you have. Take a look at what you have right now and don't wait for something better to happen. Waiting, you could be waiting there your whole life, and waiting is not good. Take what you have, create what you want. When you're waiting, you just can get into this paralyzed state saying, the perfect spouse is going to come along for me, or that job is going to come. Don't be passive about stuff. Look at what you have, appreciate it, and move forward. Number 3, we are all facing difficult situations at different times. So view these difficult times as a lesson. Ask yourself, what is this experience bringing from me, and how can I learn from it? When I was a child, I had a neighbor who was very mechanically oriented, and his pickup truck wouldn't go into 4-wheel drive. And the next thing I know, I was down in his basement with him working on the gearbox that puts the truck into 4-wheel drive. And he had his workbench. There were 40 gears laid out, all sorts of parts. And I said, what a mess. How are you ever going to do anything with this? Have you ever worked on anything like this before? And he says, nope. And I said, well, what happens if you can't get it back together or you break it? And he said, Jim, it's already broken. The worst that can happen to me is that I'm in the same position that I'm at when I started because it wasn't working, and I'm going to learn something from this whether or not I get it to work. So that sort of has been a way that I've lived my life, that you can't be afraid of trying something new because you've never done it before. Because the worst that's going to happen is you're going to learn something from the experience, and you're going to grow from it, and that's just really awesome. When you're having a difficult time, ask yourself, how is it that I got into this place? Why are these things happening to me? Why are you having these things? Did you miss a sign? Was it pretty clear that your boss was unhappy with how you were doing a project, but yet you didn't open your eyes, you didn't look at what was happening? So pay attention to your signs and look back at why things could have happened and learn from it. Ignoring your problems isn't going to help learning, and is going to keep you from being an amazing person. So get on the road to positivity by looking at what's happening and appreciating the difficult times that you're encountering. Number 4, give up rigid expectations. It's great to have goals and dreams, and it's something that we should all have, but don't impose an exact standard or expectation on how it should play out. We need to go through a learning process sometimes. So in reaching your goal, you could still maintain that goal, but be flexible in how you're going to get there and the details of what it's going to look like. Embrace the moment and look for those opportunities which are going to help you to get there. If you believe or want something in a specific and certain way, you have a good chance of imposing unnecessary suffering on yourself. Trust that there is something out there to get you to that end goal, and you will be guided there. You will eventually get there through hard work and determination. And if it's a little bit different, then that's okay, but you still have an opportunity to get to the wonderful place. Number 5, accept with and work with what is happening. We as humans tend to see change sometimes with a negative mindset, but in reality, changes are a part of our life, and it's a natural cycle. So if things change, if things go bad, accept that change and figure out how you could use it. As hard as changes sometimes are, especially the ones that come out of the blue or unexpected, you want to embrace them as if you were the one who chose to be in that tough situation. Maybe you were somehow, some way, it's part of your life lessons to figure out how to get out of this difficult situation. And if you look at it like somehow you created this difficult situation or you're responsible, then that could give you the motivation to pick yourself up, amplify those good feelings, and go for the positive aspect in them. If you continue to hold on to that difficult experience, you're going to stop losing and believing in the beauty and the magic of the universe. There's just times when you should move on. Closing our hearts can lead us to a very sad and depressing way of living, but the more we live to our fullest, adjust, adapt, and grow, then life becomes amazing. There's always a good reason for everything, and right now it may not make sense, but eventually there'll be something wonderful out of it. And finally, focus on the positivity. In today's world, there are so many negative things around us with the internet, the news, elections, negative people. But like everything in our life, we have the power to choose what affects us, what we see. Create habits that support positive thinking. Practice gratitude. Support yourself with positive people who empower you and laugh with you. Through work, dedication, intention, and meditation, you can reach this place of positivity and happiness. So in Paul's reading about the mango tree, there are two ways to look at this tree. Number one, it's an unhelpful tree and it's not giving me the fruit that I need, that I want, so I'm going to beat on it until the fruit falls off, and then I'll get it, and then I'll be satisfied. Or the other disciple said, it's a wonderful tree, because even if other people beat it, it still produces wonderful, sweet fruit. So that's your choice. How do you want to look at it? You decide how you want to look at the world. Totally up to you. If you're a negative person, you could turn any situation into a negative experience. If you're positive, you could turn anything into a positive experience. Finally, there is a saying that happiness is contagious. And what does this mean? It means that if you are happy and joyous, you're going to spread that happiness and joy to others around you. In researching this topic, there are so many professors and published papers on how to get to be in this happy place. And if you have, there was a study that if you have a friend who lives within a mile of you who's a happy, upbeat person, then there's like a 75% chance that you're going to be a happy and upbeat person. Or if you have a sibling that you hang out with who's laughs and funny, then you could be like that. So you're a reflection of the people around you. So find those people that are happy. Be that person that makes others happy, and the result will be happiness. And this brings us back to Jennifer's starfish story. So the man who saw the starfish being thrown said, "Why are you doing this? There's miles and miles and tens of thousands of starfish. You just can't affect them." But he said, "I did for that one when he saved it." So, we're a small group today, and it doesn't matter. I love what I'm doing, and we can go out, this small group can go out and spread our love and joy and happiness to the world and bring happiness to those around. It's such an amazing trickle-down effect where asking the clerk in the restaurant or grocery store how their day's going, what time do they get off work, do they have anything good going on tonight, and just starting up a conversation like that shows you're interested in them, that they're not just a robot checking you out or taking you order. When you're down, and we're all light workers here. We all try to be upbeat and positive people, but sometimes we have bad days. When you're having a bad day, I sometimes say, am I really making a difference? Is this really worth it? And the answer is hell yes. It does. Even if it's a small number of people, you're still having a wonderful influence on the world. And go out there and keep doing what you're doing and remain in a positive place. Thank you.